Hello everybody, and thanks for joining me. I'm in Lisbon, Connecticut right now, and I'm heading towards Taft Tunnel, which a train goes through. It's one of the oldest tunnels of its kind in the United States, and it runs parallel to the kind of the end portion of the Quinnebog River. So we'll take a little tour of that area. As we walk down this road here that obviously vehicles can drive on, but I don't think that's done too often by the looks of it. It's probably about 85 degrees right now. Some humidity, but it's not too bad. I say that now. After I walk around for a while, climbing around, I might start feeling differently about that humidity factor. Anyways, I hope I'm going in the right direction here. It seems to be heading towards a clearing down there. To the left is a pretty steep hill. A lot of bugs out here right now. Alright, obviously somebody came out here at some point and decided to throw a bunch of garbage. I don't know, I'd characterize that as illegal dumping, but the couch has been there a while because there's mildew and mold growing on it. Looks like a demolition job of some house somebody threw down there. Some more debris of some kind. Otherwise, it's real nice out here, real clean, real, nature. You're walking through the middle of the woods towards a train track in a big giant, I think it's 300 feet long tunnel, Taft Tunnel, train tunnel. Kind of a nice view right there as the sunlight fights its way through these beautiful trees. I hear water flowing as if it's a waterfall or something. We'll find out. Alright, obviously it's getting real bright up here. There's some kind of a power plant or something over there. I can't see the falls through the trees. I think the tunnel's back here. There's a bunch of old railroad ties. So let's head up to the tunnel. Wait a minute, here we go. There's a waterfall in there. Let's see if I can get this thing hone in on that waterfall. Kind of nice. A lot of power lines up there. Let me frame this thing up. I mean, it's nice to see the water flowing. Some of the other dams we've visited in the past few days have been dry. No water flowing over them at all, but this is a different situation we got going here. Let's climb up on this platform. Gotta be real careful. If I slip, I'm in deep, deep trouble. Alright, let's pan the area. That's the Quinnebog River. I haven't been up here in years. It's beautiful. And there are 2 waterfalls. It has something to do with power generation, I think. I don't know if it's still functioning in that capacity, but it very well could be. Take a real good look at this thing. Okay, let's head down toward the tunnel. I believe the tunnel is down there, where I'm pointing. And we're going to head down the tracks. Let's head down the train tracks. I'm trying to keep my shadow out of the frame here so it isn't too distracting, because I got the sun right at my back. Look at this Quinnebog River. Man, oh man, it's kind of not moving. It's just kind of sitting there. As we head down to one of the oldest train tunnels in the United States. Kind of exciting. And it's still a functioning tunnel. Trains pass through that tunnel on a routine basis. A lot of birds in the background chirping and making all kind of noises. A few clouds in the sky today. As we're currently walking down the tracks in Lisbon, Connecticut. No shade here at all. And it's starting to get a little warm. Alright, let's take another glance. Oh, wild blueberry bushes out here, nice. Quinnebog River. Sign way down there says danger dam, keep 300 feet away. So if you kayak or canoe or whatever down here, you'll be confronted with that sign. And if you do go past it, you'll be in jeopardy of going over one of those big waterfalls we saw back there. So, alright, let's see what we got here. Work our way up this track to this historic, one-of-a-kind Taft Tunnel. These tracks are in excellent condition. All right, there it is. A little bit up ahead here, and we're going to be, this thing, there's a big sign out front that says Taft's Tunnel. Now, let's face it, I got to be careful, because if a train comes, I don't know what time trains, I don't know the train schedule. Let's see here. Let me get up there. Read that close as I can to that thing. Taft's Tunnel. Oh man. Okay, there's a look at the Quinnebog just prior to getting close to that Taft Tunnel. All right. I'm going to step lightly here. And walk off to the side. It's a little soft, a little moist in there. Alright, I see some sunlight. It's kind of moist, so there's some kind of little stream or water coming off this thing. Let's look up, straight up. There's a top of the Taft Tunnel. There's a helicopter goes overhead. 300 feet, so that's the length of a football field. Alright, I'm going to delicately walk across this, walk through this tunnel. It's probably going to be real shaky because when it gets dark, these cameras tend to it's much more difficult for them to maintain stabilized footage, but we still have some light, but I'm going to lose my light here pretty soon. Okay, I just lost my light, so now it's probably going to be real shaky. I'll try to go as careful as I can. Snap my finger. It's kind of an echo chamber in here. Don't know if we can... There it is, right there, folks. This is it. There's some water dripping down. Not much. It's a little moist in here. I'm going to have to pick up the pace a little bit because if a train starts barreling down the tracks right now, I think I could survive, but I don't think it would be much fun. I'm about halfway through. Can't see very well in front of me at all. It's just a little light coming from the front there. You can see the end of the tunnel, which is a problem because I could step into a hole or something, but that's part of the game here. If you're going to do a walking tour through the Taft Tunnel, that's what you're going to be facing. All right, now we get more light as we exit the tunnel. Oh, good. It's really, really moist. It's extremely wet where I'm walking. I'm going to try to hold this as steady as a rock if I can, but it's surprisingly wet. Considering the fact that we had a drought, we did have rain a couple days ago, about 1.5 inches of rain. All right, now I'm on dry, nice dry ground. Let's take a look back at that tunnel. There it is, right there. Taft's Tunnel. I think I might be able to walk on top of this thing. There seems to be a little path over here. Let me take a gander at the Quinnebog River. There's a shot up the tracks. Let's get a kind of a low angle here. Right there, I hear, I don't know, howling animals in the distance. I think. Beautiful Quinnebog River right there. Let me get a good shot of this thing. I see one dead fish floating out there. It's a pretty big fish. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of hard to tell from this distance. But I'm going to walk up on top of the... I'm going to walk up on top of that tunnel. Taft's Tunnel. There it is. Let me frame it up. Okay, I don't know, there's a little path over on the side here. How tall is that? Let me stop here and take a... I would say, let's see, 20, 40, I would say it's 60 feet from the tracks to those trees up there straight up. I could be, I would say between 60 and 75 feet up. I'm going to attempt to walk up this path, what looks to be a path, and get on top of that tunnel. Actually, walking back under the tunnel in the opposite direction might be good, but I survived going one way. I should probably take that as a good sign. All right, here's a look through the trees at the Quinnebog River. As a jet plane flies directly overhead. This is straight up. This, I gotta be careful, it's very mossy. That's quite a tunnel. All right, we're almost up on top of this thing. Can't get too close to the edge here. It's real slippery. There it is. Taft Tunnel, Lisbon, Connecticut, 2022. This is the exact view, the opposite of that tunnel. The Quinnebog River. It's a big river. Big wide river. We fight our way through these trees and up this mossy path. Okay, I'm not going to get too close to the edge, but that's looking straight down at the tunnel. So right now, let's see, we'll be on top of the tunnel right about, let me center this thing up. Okay, there it is. We're dead center on top of the tunnel. Right there. Give you a good shot of it. As I pan over here, you can see the Quinnebog River in the distance. I don't want to trip. If I do, I'm dead. It's straight down. Okay, what have we here? I look straight up, I see big power lines. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going, but let's see what happens. Walk up here a little bit. Interesting. If I was smart, I'd head back down and go through the tunnel the opposite direction. Yeah. Because I'm not really sure where this leads, and I don't want to get lost. So we're going to go back through the tunnel, the opposite direction, which, you know, gives us a different view, a different vantage point, as I very carefully walk down this very steep and slippery hill. Now, if I do slip and fall and keep rolling, and I hold on to my GoPro, you're going to be in for some pretty exciting video. But I'm going to try not to do that. I'm going to hold the camera with one hand and grab onto trees and different things with the other. All right, there it is again. This is, if you went straight through where we're looking, put a hole right through it, you'd go into that tunnel, that historic tunnel. Things are starting to heat up a little bit. Why do I say that? Well, because I walked up a big giant hill, and before I was so happy I just got out of an air-conditioned car. So that's, that's the situation we find ourselves in right now. But we got to get back to that tunnel, and we got to go real carefully on this path, because it's real slippery. Luckily for me, there's a few trees that I can grab onto. As I hear dogs barking in the background, I think they're dogs. I mean, if they're coyotes or something like that, I'd be real surprised. I mean, coyotes are around, foxes, all kind of animals around, but during the day like this, I don't think they'd be doing a lot of howling. But I don't know. I mean, all right, here's another pretty cool view of this Quinnebog River. Getting to one of the steepest portions of this little path, but it's also the end of the path, so we're probably going to be in good shape. Okay. Don't hear any trains coming, so let's go back through the tunnel, get a different view, and hope everything works out. It is wet in there. I'm gonna frame it up, get some decent views of this this tunnel when I get a little bit closer. I mean, it's really beautiful, incredible sight right there. Look at that thing. Let's dip down and get a, this is like a track view right here. Let me frame that thing up. Okay, let's go. All right, we're back into the muddy. Let's zoom in on some of this mud. Right there, you see that? It's kind of moist. Underground streams or, whatever's going on around here. That's why I got to be real careful walking through this tunnel. And again, if the footage is real shaky, that's due to the limitations of the camera. When it gets dark, it's very hard to stabilize these cameras. But I'm taking it real slow. Man, oh man. Oof. You gotta just watch that water. I can see, actually visually in front of me, there's some light coming towards me, so I can kind of see where I'm stepping. Trying to stay on the railroad ties. I don't know if you're getting some of that echo effect right now, but I'm in the center portion. All right, let me step off these things. I got to speed up a little bit at the risk of really unstable footage. I got to get out of here because if a train does come down these tracks right now, it'll make for great video, but it's not something I'm looking to do. All right, here we go. Ooh, that's a nice shot right there. Look at that. Look at that. Inside Taft Tunnel. All right, it's getting a little wet again. Dried up, now it's wet. You have real wet mud and leaves and everything in this one little location here, so you could definitely have a problem. Let me pan. I'm shooting directly into the sun, so it's going to be a little bit blown out, but that's okay. We don't care. We just want to make it out of here in one piece, document this incredible historic tunnel, and work our way down the tracks. There's a train trestle down straight ahead. I'm not sure how far that is. I'm going to take a walk down there and take a look at it, and then we'll close up shop on this video, but I'm pretty happy with grabbing some of that footage I got back there. It's an absolutely amazing tunnel down there, built in the 1800s. It's all on the web. It's a famous tunnel, Taft Tunnel. Look it up on Wikipedia or whatever. I'll put a link to it in the description below on this video. But yeah, if you're into trains and all things trains, then you might be real interested in that. There's almost no wind. It's super calm. So we head directly into that sun. I'm going to shift over a little bit and catch a little bit of the shade. Walk down the train tracks here. Approaching the waterfall. Straight ahead to my left. Got a little ways to go before we hit that waterfall, not far. Walking on train tracks is interesting because you have to, your stride doesn't always equal the distance of the railroad ties, so it's kind of can be a little disorienting, a little tricky at times. Well, let's proceed ahead here. I hear something down there. Splashing in the water. You don't know what kind of wildlife is out there. Could be anything. Okay, as that waterfall comes into view down there. When I was much younger than I am now, I don't know, maybe, 40 years ago, I caught a couple of smallmouth bass in the Quinnebog River. It's the only time I ever caught smallmouth bass before. Boy, do they fight. Look at that. The reflection of those big towers up there carrying electrical cables and everything. Beautiful scene down here. Waterfalls. It's kind of a V-shaped configuration they have down here. They have one waterfall that's kind of head on facing the river, and the other one is off on an angle. Take another jump up on that platform. Oh yeah, you can hear it. You can hear the rushing of the water and the one of the signs, that sign right there, is rotted out. We go right up to the edge here. And there's a look at that platform I'm on. So let me hold the camera out. Let me get some of that platform in there. Straight down. If I was to fall, slip, fall, or whatever, I'd be in trouble. Alright, there it is. Let me show you. I didn't want to miss any of that waterfall. Let's head down the track. This looks like some kind of a old staircase or something leading down there. At one time, now it's all, I don't know what the story on that is. This little staircase, and it just leads to a chain link fence and barbed wire, and I don't know, you could easily get around it. Not that I'm going to, but alright, there's a shot back. Beautiful clouds in the sky up there. Alright, we were up there probably, where I'm looking, where I'm pointing this camera, I assume. We're going to take a look at a train trestle, and then we're going to close up shop. Hopefully it's not too far down the road here, down the track. Whoa, interesting. The river, like, this is really kind of dangerous because they have loose stones, and it just falls right off an edge. I'm not going to get near that edge. There's not a lot of room on either side if a train does come. I would have to go to my right to bail out so I didn't, you know, get in the way of a freight train coming at me. It's kind of a wide shot directly into the sun. Let's see if I can get a little shade to block off some of that. Alright, you can see the river. The river it has to be low because we're still in the middle of a severe drought. I mean, we had a little bit of rain the other day, not enough. So I don't know. Yeah, it's real low. I mean, I'm not an expert. I haven't been up here in years, but to the naked eye, it looks really, really low. Like right there, if you can see those stones, rocks, and everything on that little island out there. That kind of extends down quite a ways. So I'm assuming that would normally be underwater. It's definitely feeling real hot and muggy right now, so I was getting the kind of I had that car air conditioning effect where you get out of the car and you go, oh, it's beautiful out here. And you start walking around for a half an hour. Let's see, we've been out here for 33 minutes so far. And, you know, walking up a few hills and things like that. I mean, I'm not winded at all, but you tend to spend that much time out in the bright sun walking around. The body is going to heat up. I get some bugs making loud noises, and this is really, you know, visually appealing, visually a picturesque location, a very nice scenery. There's some old railroad ties down there, all rotted out. And the river, I don't know if you can see it through the trees or not, but there it is. So we head down to a train trestle. To my right I can hear cars. I parked over there through the woods and through the trees there. Oh yeah, let's get a better look at this river, this Quinnebog. There's a blue heron out there, and it's way off in the distance. This camera won't do it justice. Do a little panning of this. The Quinnebog is a really large river. I mean, it's wide, exceptionally wide, but it's also very low. If somebody was into fly fishing, or had a set of waders, not necessarily fly fishing, any kind of fishing, you could get way out there. Get yourself some smallmouth bass, among other types of fish. Don't know if you can pick up that traffic sound in the background, but it's there. Hopefully we're getting closer to that trestle. I call it a trestle. I mean, it's a metal bridge that was constructed to build a crane. There's deer running through the woods way in the distance. You're not going to be able to see it with this camera, but I just got a glimpse. Alright, we're getting into some brighter light, which tells me there's an opening down here, which probably indicates the location of that trestle or train bridge. Yeah. You hear sound, you hear a lot of wildlife making, different noises, and birds and ducks and things out there. We're heading directly into the sun. I just, this camera, hopefully this camera's picking everything up. They're usually pretty good with exposure, but to the naked eye, it's kind of rough. It's like right smack dead in my line of sight is the sun. All right, now I'm in a little bit of shade. That's good. Yeah, that's the trestle. It's got to be. Let me see if I can get under that thing. That'd be cool. Okay. The moment of truth. There's a little metal footpath on this train trestle. Yeah, this is where I fished back in the old days. Right down there to my left, right on the shore, right there, is where I caught a couple of smallmouth bass. I'll go out on this a little ways, but I'm not going to go far. I mean, straight down is, I don't know, that's 30 or 40 feet straight down. If these metal things haven't been inspected lately, I'm dead. Okay, here we go. It's a bridge over there. It leads into Lisbon. And as you can see how dry that river is. Is that the Shetucket River right there? Yeah, that's the, okay, this is the part where the Shetucket River and the Quinnebog River meet. So I'm going to risk serious injury. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go up on the railroad ties. Why do I think they're safer? Although they are the railroad ties are very oily, so that would make them very slippery. Okay, bear with me, folks. I'm trying to get out towards. All right. Whew. If you got a fear of heights, you might have a problem. I don't have a fear of heights, but I'm not thrilled about walking on an old, rusted out I don't know. There it is. I mean, how comfortable do you feel with that? I don't know. To me, it's a little dicey. So this is the point. To the left is the Quinnebog. Let me get out here a little further. Am I crazy? Yes. Okay. All it takes is one little problem and we're toast. Okay. To the left is the Quinnebog River. To the right is the Shetucket River. Dead center is where they meet. That's kind of cool. Beautiful view. Another shot of the train trestle. We're on it, close to the center of it. Another shot upriver, up the Shetucket River. There's a big trucks and things, cars all over the place. All right, I'm going to lean this thing over and point straight down. Hopefully I don't drop the camera. But this is what we're dealing with right here. It's got to be 30 feet. I don't know. It's kind of hard to estimate. But I got to get off this thing. I'm going to go down to the river and we can shoot up at this trestle. Or bridge, or, the technical term, I don't know. But a train goes over this thing because there's a river here. All right. Get myself this path down here. And right down to the river. There is poison ivy in here, so you gotta be mindful. I didn't wear shorts. I wore longer pants so I planned ahead. Ooh, we're getting right down. Yeah, this is it. I caught smallmouth bass here, I don't know, 40 years ago. 35 years ago, whatever it was. You can hear the trickle of the Quinnebog River coming around some of those nice rocks. Let me get down here. I'll get you a shot of the train trestle from down below. Up there is some kind of a power station or power generating plant of some kind. I'm guessing. I have no idea. It's just it's a theory. Somebody can look it up definitely and find out. Let's get right down to the river level. That's the Quinnebog. There's old bottles. I don't know if they're old, but there's bottles that have been uncovered by this drought. And, for example, I don't know if it's, I don't know the actual age of this thing, but there's quite a few of them down here. Let's work our way over to this train bridge. Yeah, I don't think you could walk out here normally. This would be underwater. Somebody's been out here. There's a little fireplace or whatever they made for themselves. I'm going right to the edge of the merging of the Shetucket with the Quinnebog. Right there. It's kind of a cool scene. Let me frame this thing up. All right. Rise up a little bit here and give you a nice... Let's pan. Very slowly. This river is actually moving. It's flowing. It's not stagnant. It's not stationary. And we're going to whip over and take a look at that beautiful train bridge. That looks like an oldie to me. I don't know the age of this, but there are gigantic, I would call them I-beams, or I don't know, but they're massive. I mean, big enough to hold a train, so that's saying something. I'm going to shoot right into that sun again, unfortunately. If I get on the other side, let me take a walk over there. Walk on the other side of this this trestle. See my paths around here. Yeah, somebody was having some kind of a cookout or something right there. Oatmeal and a bottle of booze and whatever. Let's take a walk. A lot of poison ivy. Gotta avoid that like the plague. Okay, let's see. Alright. Climbing under trees and around shrubs and bushes just to get a shot of the other side of the train trestle. I don't know how far I have to go to get that shot. I might not be able to make it because it's getting muddy. You can see the footprints and everything down there. Okay. Get out as far as I can. Whoa, starting to sink a little bit. All right, we can get a shot of this thing. Whoa, big bullfrog just jumped in. That would have been a cool video, but I missed it. Straight ahead, bridge over in Lisbon. Automobiles and things. Boy, there's fish down here. I can see them. I don't know what they are, but they're in the water. All right, there's a side shot of that train trestle. Right there. That is a beautiful piece of engineering, let me tell you. All right, I'm going to work my way back out of here. It's a big, I don't know, pine tree or something down here. I got to watch my step. I got to work my way slowly but surely through this mud. All right, let's get right under it. All right, let me center it up. Get out of the sun. I'm smack under this thing. It's kind of a nice shot there, a little reflection. And we'll shoot straight up. Hopefully you can make some of that out. It's pretty cool. I just want to get just a couple of different angles on this, underneath this trestle. Folks, thanks for coming along with me on this little walking tour of Taft Tunnel and this train bridge. As we looked at the Quinnebog River and the Shetucket River. I appreciate your coming with me on this journey. Thanks for joining me, folks.